Hey, what's... I'll go. That's weird. That's weird. Where'd it go? I'm out of, like, spot. Because this is highly irregular. Oh, no. FV2 crashing. Oh, okay, okay. Here. No. Okay. Excellent. Stretch it out. Stretch. Ah. Crunchy. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and this is the Daily Grind. That time of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies. Today is July 16th. The 16th, everyone. July 16th, Thursday of 2026. And, okay, I know yesterday we had a little bit of a crash out, but hear me out. Hear me out. All we have to do is play like 25 lanes. We want decks to be slow anyway. Oh, fine. Yes, for the past couple days, we've been trying to make Madame Hydra work. And I've been banging my head against the wall because I've been trying to play her like an aggro deck. Just not an aggro deck, right? This card, in no way, shape, or form, supports an aggressive deck playstyle. You can make a bunch of goons! Which is what we're here for. We're here to make goons. But, like, just does not a lot of stuff on her own. What she does is she adds additional value to the bodies that can play for a villain-themed. So I was thinking, you know what? I tried so hard to play this as like a creature spam aggro deck, and that's not working. What if I did go back to, like, you know, just classic bread and butter mid-range? I love playing mid-range. Part of why I love playing black-red so much is that it lends itself so well to playing value-based mid-range. And then a lot of things just kind of started clicking. So we do have our removal suite up a bit more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. 13, I think, is like the minimum that you would typically want for a mid-range style deck. If you're a control deck, you would definitely want to go more. But the big thing is that we are playing more sweeper effects. So like Meathook Massacre, Gix's Command, Crippling Fear. Crippling Fear was already in the deck. But having Meathook and Gix are part of those low-cost sweepers that also get us value. Like, Meathook is just an upgrade from the villainous Bastion of Remembrance. Like the Bastion of Remembrance that's literally just villain-coded. Because this also wipes out smaller stuff. Gix's Command can wipe out basically everything. It can keep Madame Hydra on the board if we really want it to, but then it also just buys us back creatures. Or it can wipe out a bunch of small creatures and then one big creature. Like, there's a lot of flexibility here. And then playing the Goblin Bombardment had me thinking about trying out a bunch of these sacrifice effects, right? So, like, Black-Red Sacrifice has been a thing for a while, but we can bring in, say, a Village Rites. We can play Madame Hydra, and she's a removal lightning rod anyway. Being able to convert that into a Village Rites means that we get to reload on creatures while burning their removal. Same with any of our smaller creatures. If we're forced to play Chaff, because that's literally the best that we have, being able to cash these in for cards later is great. We're also in a really interesting spot where a ton of these are legendary, so Nasty End should draw us up. Like, this is a +1 on cards, but then turns into a +2 if the opponent's trying to use removal. Talking about mid-range, Spectacle Destruction, it's really hard to get better than this. This gets you a spell every turn. That's eventually enough creatures just die while this is on the board that it just becomes a permanent draw you spells nonstop, and that's exactly what we want. I'm going to try Call of the Ring here too. I think being able to turn the goons into legends that require multiple blocks and then can just like eat everything that blocks it is really cool. This also forces them to spend a lot more of the removal on our chaff, because suddenly all these chaff cards staying on the board are ways that we can draw off of Call of the Ring. Plus the looting effect, the on attack draw then discard, will help trigger effects like Mask here. That's pretty good. The discard will trigger mayhem effects like Green Goblin Revenant. That will also be a thing, so we can go Call of the Ring, draw the discard, and then discard off of Green Goblin, draw two. Helen, thank you so much for the lurk redeem. And also, hey Teddy, thank you so much for stopping by. I got the Mythic Wild card and I crafted Second Brass. I'll get unsinkable when I get another Mythic Wild card. Best of luck. Best of luck. 07's in chat. I also realized something really sweet. Having a free sack outlet like Goblin Bombardment and also Tombstone. Oh, no, not Tombstone. Hammerhead. Yeah, having Hammerhead as a sack outlet too. That's really good with Ares God of War. So we get into a position where all of our creatures have dealt combat before combat ends. We can sack a bunch of creatures to either the Bombardment or Hammerhead, get them back into our hand, and quote, reload that way for Madame Hydra to get us more goons. We're also playing a couple more of the cards that float stuff. So like Crimson Operative here. This one exiles a card. It impulse draws that we can play until the next turn. And then we also have Superior Foes of Spider-Man, who curve pretty well with Madame Hydra, weirdly enough. And says that you can play the exiled card until you exile a new card with it. So like, just trying to play as many of these cards' effects as possible. That's a carryover from the previous iteration. So hopefully we'll be able to see some more stuff like that. I did cut out a lot of the ramp, because now that we're going to be focusing on value and over time, like just exhausting our opponent's resources, taking over the game, then trying to turn the corner that little bit faster. We're not going to need the signets. We're not going to need the medallion. Instead, the only mana rock we have remaining is the Relic of Legends, which I kind of, you know, I didn't really think about when I was trying to build the spam version, but I probably should have. Because Relic of Legends, with this many legendary creatures, does just literally turn them all into tap this legend, play another spell. Tap this legend, play another spell. Tap this legend, play another spell. Play enough instants and sorceries now that I think I can actually consider Loki. That'll be interesting to see how that works out. We're still playing the suite of other cards that chain into other cards. Cards that can also reduce. Carnage is going to be interesting. We still have our Dooms. We still have a Grave Shifter. Black Cat is like an potential draw. Yep. So this is just kind of a kind of classic mid-range. And I was kind of trying to avoid this initially. Not because I think mid-range is bad, but because mid-range in Brawl, it can struggle sometimes, right? It can struggle sometimes if you go up against a super aggro deck that just beats you down before you can get any of your value engines going. It can be hard to stabilize, which is why we have cards like Meathook Massacre and Gix's Command. If you go up against a control deck and you're unable to get any of your value engines like Spectacle of Destruction down, then you can have just can't keep up, right? Mid-range is about building value, whereas a control deck is going for hard card advantage. And hard card advantage is going to beat your engines every time. Like, they will play Consult the Star Charts, and that will grab the exact 2 cards that they need. Usually one will be just like a big draw spell. Then they reload, they have 7 cards in hand. You've got like 1, maybe 2 cards in hand. You have a value engine, but you're just not getting cards fast enough to overtake whatever it is they do. And then they get their card advantage by playing a big Wrath that wipes your board. And now suddenly you have nothing left to rebuild with. That is another major weakness, right? It's not that it does any one thing particularly well. It's that it's just trying to cover as many bases as possible. I think that's probably about the best that we can expect for Madame Hydra right now. I looked at my deck and realized I'm 10 lands off the amount of lands you suggested. Yep. Get them basics in. Get them basics in. Also, something I didn't mention last time that I'm going to take a second to 3-color decks are really heckin' hard to build on a budget. I'm going to show you why. We're going to be playing Madame Hydra today, but I do want to show the... still have... do I not have any? Oh, here we go. This was a budget deck that I built about a year or so ago. I've kind of... I have updated it every once in a while, every time that there's a new elf. But it's the Vaja Jaws of the Conclave. This is a deck that you can play very easily on a budget. I made this version so that way Vaja is the only rare/mythic that you need to spend one on. And it runs into the same problem every time. There's too many lands that come into play tapped and kill the momentum of it. So while the actual deck itself is super cheap and easy to put together, without the mana base to support it, it has a hard time putting out the power that it should. So my recommendation is to do kind of what I did here to compensate. When you build a 3-color deck and you're on a budget, pick 2 colors to be your primary colors. So like if you're playing Grixis, pick either red-black, blue-red, or blue-black, and then use the 3rd color as a splash, and that'll make it a lot easier to build your mana base on the budget. And I did have like... I do have Breaches the Blast Maker, which is interesting. Yeah, Breaches is cool. Breaches has like a few... Also, just real quick, since I did... Not just you, Teddy, but actually someone left a comment on yesterday's VOD asking about like stuff for colorless. The only colorless deck that I'm currently playing is the Iron Spider Stark upgrade. I built this to try and do the Spider Challenge because I figured, like, you know, even if this card is fragile, I can just like play a bunch of ramp cards and then be able to play this over and over again until it sticks. But this is a combo deck. This is a combo deck that was inspired partly by Brony Man, who's a part of the community and stops by every once in a while, using Paradox Engine effects to basically try and go infinite. It's non-deterministic infinite until you hit something like the One Ring. And the general idea is Iron Spider taps, puts a counter on itself and literally any other creature or vehicle on the board, which can be like the Quinjet or the Caravan. Cast a spell, untap the Iron Spider, you keep casting spells, and you keep tapping Spider to put more and more counters on. And then if you run out of spells to actually play, then you start tapping to remove counters from Iron Spider and the Quinjet or whatever. You draw cards, you hit more spells, and then you get to just like extend your combo that way. It's not a good deck. It's not a good... It's not a... it's not a very sturdy deck, is probably the way to put it. Because, you know, it is so reliant on Iron Spider being able to do the thing that it does fall apart to removal. Colorless decks don't have a lot of removal. I've got Extinguisher Battleship, which is a Wrath. I've got Cityscape Leveler for single target stuff. Ugin for single target. Ugin for single target. Ice and Weakstone for single target. Kozilek's Command. Colorless is also just like a really hard deck to build on a budget. You can get the waste, but one of the strengths of being a colorless deck is that you just get to play all of these. You only have 2 lands to enter tapped. Good, good, good. That's what you need. That's what you need if you want to make the deck work. I really did want to make decks. I wanted to make more decks on a budget where the only rare you spend is the commander. It just kind of comes into a problem where I don't get to... That is a... That Hydra bot. We're up against high base, so like value. This doesn't really have like the interaction that would be more of a high base. Also like or low in interaction, I guess. Aries would attack every turn. I think I want something to deal with like an early work. Yeah, this worked. One is the basic 2-color one that gives me life. The other is if I play it before having 2 on the battlefield. One from Strixhaven. I would not play any of the ETB tapped life lands, even if you're on a budget. I feel like you have much better options. Generally speaking, I don't really like playing 3-color decks in all. Relic of Legend might be how we come back. I can play the Mac, but I feel like I want to get the bombardment down first. It means I don't get to play the Following the Week, that's for sure. Now they get to play High Bay, they get to do crimes. I can make them sack High Bay with the Gix's command. A whole lot. Okay, they're gonna take a turn off. They might be trying to set up Flicker. I can go Mana Confluence, Relic. That's what I need to do. Oh, hold on. Are they? Ooh. Okay, this looks like a. Oh, this is budget High Bay. Okay. So worth going Common Crook into Relic of the Legends. I can play Baron Stucker. If I were to play Baron Stucker now, and I played Relic next, that'd be 1, 2. Following the Week. You know what? I'll give that a try. We'll go Relic next turn into Crook. Sack the Crook to the Calling. Play Madame into Mock. Kiyoshi Island Plaza. Okay. So they are just ramping. That's... Gonna let them play High Bay a lot. Okay. The Strixhaven one is fine. It's just saying the life gain isn't worth it. I mean, the one from Strixhaven, the lands from Strixhaven, are you talking about the Surveil / Scry lands? Because I don't think those are really worth it. Alright, we're going to go ahead. We're playing Relic of Legends. Now we're going to play the Common Crook. Yeah, let's connive. Ooh, I can just get the free value off of the... Don't mind. Then... Here's Call of the Week. Oh, right. Have this connive. Right, okay. Go ahead, play Madame Hydra. Here's Tombstone. Tombstone, get back Hydra. Oh, and then we could just go... Yeah. Yeah, this is sweet. Why wasn't I doing this before? Add a mask. Relic of the Legends is sweet. I'm gonna be sad if like they invested in a Northern Air Temple. Pretty. If I Gix is, what do I do? Okay. Southern Air Temple, that is really good. I mean, they could, like, make a bunch of spirits, I guess. Okay, then. Let's go. Here's Madame Hydra. Decline, because I need to draw my second card off Madame Mask in order to get it. Dive. Drop that. Now we can go ahead and come onto the flyer. Okay. And then I also get to just with everything. Agent of Hydra, don't care about those. Replay Tombstone. I can just like replay. I think I just want to. Okay, yeah, they can make me lose that guy. That's fine. That's a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 10 damage represented on board. Not the scry one. I had the one that enters tapped unless I control 2 more lands. Yeah, that one's fine. Wasn't that... Oh, God. I want to say that, like, the dreams... That cycle really like that? I can even just, like, sack the Agent of Hydra. Pass... The blocks. At 9, they can play, like, another thing. Also, get this command. I mean, if I was to Gix this command, then let's go black, 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 black. We'll do Gix's command, put counters, sacrifices, just in case they're holding up like a flicker effect. Yeah, it looked like the opponent was playing a really budget version of High Bay here. This is gonna work even if they like flicker High Bay, which is exactly what we figured. Yep, so they do get to grab another creature. That is not ideal. Alright, now I can put a count on... Probably. Back, I guess? They block, and I'm just gonna, like, sacrifice whatever they choose to block. Also, they're dead. Interesting, interesting. Well, it didn't help that they didn't hit, like, any of the amazing lands. Northern Air Temple's pretty good. But... The High Bay decks are at their best when they run only the good shrines. Like, you run the 5 Avatar shrines. Those are good. You run shrines that draw you cards. Play the shrines that win. Like, make a bunch of token idiots to help block and stuff like that. This person's playing a budget version, so, like, no shade to them. It looks like they were playing... Yeah. all commons and everything. Probably not a hard thing to. Just definitely not the scariest high bay could have been. I really gotta think about. I really gotta remember that Relic of Legends is a card that I throw into more of these Universe Beyond brews more often. I play it in Banat because she is so legend heavy. It's just like a black-red version of that. Okay, push. Common Bombardment, Cow, Roaming Throw. I'll keep this. You can go turn 1, Thoughtseize for sure. Take the artifact that beats us outright. Alright, Diversion Unit, Jury, or Iron One. Okay. Take the unit then. Although I guess the unit just like dies to Goblin. And now in position where I can go either play Mock and Fatal Push. Dragon Skull Summon. Okay. I can also just play Cow. Cow will make goons. The goons will shoot down their heroes. If I hit like another land, am I playing my Roaming Throne first? I think I am, because then that doubles up in the Crimson Cowl effects. Alright, there's Iron Land. Fine. Draws cards eventually. Relic of Light. If I do that, I have 2 mana to play. Let's not tip our hand. Dark is a 1/3. Yeah, let's just go ahead and sack the goon. Bounce. And this is only 1 mana, but that's enough to play a push on the next turn. They can also just like replay Stark. They're getting close to the point. They can just like hard cast Stark as a stop. That's not where we. Notably, I can also push Futurist to play draw card. That's probably one of the lesser versions of that effect, but going for density and you're on a budget, sure. Yeah. Second artifact, make it 3/3 colors do what? Go pay the 3 here. And I'll feed the Roaming Throne into a counterspell if that's what they. Okay, they have big score. Sure. All. Villain. Go combat. Attack. Then do I shoot Iron Lad now? They can just play Iron. Fatal Push doesn't think about that. I could sack like my whole board and it wouldn't do anything about that. Nice edge. Stark is gonna be a 5/5. If I can get like 1 more turn before Stark comes down, I can do something about it because I don't have enough goons to throw at his face. Nope, but I don't get that option. Enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target creature and opponent rolls. I think the Crimson Owl, right? So hitting Iron Man isn't going to do anything. Hit their face, I guess. Fatal push since we have Revolt. Iron Lad gets a free draw. Yeah, this is just hero stuff. Fine in hand. Let's go. Okay. Yep. Goons. Fail. I can go attack for 4. Then, am I willing to give up all those goons? I have to, right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and shoot him now. Good thing they got rid of Cal when they did then. Also, we are going to go ahead and tap back here. Before we sacrifice him. And hopefully we can turn this into a giant Madame Hydra for our convenience. Oh, shit! I'm sorry, that's what? Knife X, where X is number. Draw X, discard X? I'm sorry, what? I apparently did not realize how that actually worked. Damn. Okay, sure. Okay. Vision Quest is going to search the library and graveyard for an artifact, creature card, mana value X or less, put it on the battlefield. It gets an additional X counters. If X is 4 or greater, it gains haste. I see this card, Wreck Draft, so often, and it almost always just grabs fucking Invincible Iron Man. It's ridiculous. I also got 3 Tree City because of me. I would not recommend playing. Oh my, no, it's always this one. It's always this fucking Iron Man. 1-0 for each artifact you control. Whenever he attacks, if an artifact enters, you draw a card. And then he's just also a... Well, I hate to see that. Okay. Gix's command is pretty heckin' good. Make them stack. Yeah. I'm gonna return 2 cards. We sack 2. I'm gonna get back Doombot and got 2 mana, so I can't actually like do a whole lot with that. Three Tree City is weird. I always want 3 Tree City to be good, and then just I keep getting into positions where my board state doesn't actually like make it good. At least with the Shrine to Nyx, the Nykthos, yeah, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, like it's based off of the enchantments and other stuff that you have that has pips, and pips can actually get pretty like big even if you only have like 1 creature out. I didn't realize that this was gonna draw me X. That's huge. That's so fucking huge. That is like the biggest queen. Hey, at least I could also put in my squirrel deck. That's real. That's real. Like, I'm not saying that the ceiling on the Tree City isn't bad. No, I'm not saying that the Tree City is bad per se, but it definitely underperforms compared to some of its some of its contemporaries. Lucky, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Thank you, thank you. Finally here. Huzzah! Lucky is here. Dude. Dragon Quest Act 3. Act 3 is so good. I am like reinvigorated to like continue playing it. During Act 2 there, during the whole you know, leading up to Morrigan final boss stuff, I was feeling the drag a little bit, and I was like, maybe I still want to start wrapping this up. Like, now that we're here in Act 3, oh my god, such good stuff. Especially considering the twist. Especially considering the twist. Essentially, the green planet from Edge of Eternity, except it's tied to creature type instead of number of creatures. I mean, yeah, because it's Gaia's Cradle. Like, it's a Gaia's Cradle that makes you work harder is what it basically... Up against Baron Helmets. I've seen this deck do a few different things. Whenever you cast a black spell, Zemo connives. The Boast is really scary. Meathook might be relevant here. But I think this hand's probably just a low. Dark Writ. Had to go into Dr. Doom. I think that works. Lead off on my pathway? Lead off on my pathway. Had to be out doing the born adult stuff, but home now. Hey, welcome home. Ooh, Vampiric Tutor. Alright. Grab like Dark Writ so you can power up Z. Grab Thoughtseize so you can take my cards. Grab... You definitely don't grab Library of Alchemy. Library of Alexandria is like a powerful card. I don't know how much of it. I can leave up Bitter Triumph at this point, and then if I wait, I can play Hydra Assault Bot and then pull up Call of the Week. I don't hate. Oh, okay, that's Entomb. That grabs like a Vagavoth. I think I'm just out of... Motherfucker! I have to sack 3 non-land permanents to make this good. Is there anything I can do about that? Probably not. Sack 3 non... So then... What do I have to do? I have to go... Hydra Assault Bot. God, I didn't want to fucking do that. God damn it. I was hovering over it because I wanted to try and, like, work through my train of thought. It would have been Robot, sack it to Call the Week, get 4 mana. I could go up to 7 mana with Dark Writ. I can play Dr. Doom. And then... I don't have enough mana to do anything else until, like, the next turn. They'll hit me with Vagavoth. They'll get all their life back. And they just get all my ritual stuff for free because that's Vagavoth's skill. Hate that. If I look at Gev, I can't stop but look at with awe, like, aw, look at that dumb derpy face. I think Gev would be insulted by that. Like, the black-red lizards are mercenary coded. Katara Waterbending Mask. This is not a favorable matchup, like, at all. Inquisition and Lightning Bolt makes us... And we have play draw difference. So, like, not good. But, you know, if we're gonna, like, do anything, this is the best way for it to... Alright, so they've got Strix Serenade. got Mind Supreme Merfolk, Flare of Denial, Force Negation would save the Katara. The Mind Spring. That's a 1-drop that they can play. Back into Flare of Denial. Force Negation is like just straight up full. The Mind Spring Merfolk here is what's making this. Force Negation is a for one. No, the Force Negation doesn't do anything on their turn, which is when we want to fight anyway. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can get your Merfolk. I get to want to bolt on your turn. I want to go Dark Rit the Madame Hydra this because I can't bolt Katara. And if they use the Force Negate, they're like, that's just... Yep. That's fine by me. Still Call the Weak. I've got Grave Shifter here. Honestly, it's hard to imagine. Yeah, okay. Okay. Hammerhead's cool. Play this out first. Play Hammerhead. Pass the turn. I want to call Hammerhead. This is what? Exhaust? Yep, so they drew away a bunch of draw there. Go ahead and grab Surveil Land. Thoughtseize is a stellar draw at this point. Because either they pay the mana to counter their spell, or... Okay, there we go. That was about as good as we could have gotten it. They had used the Force Negation on the Dark. I don't know that I would have done that. Getting the Madame Hydra on board is certainly really good. It gives us a ton of value off of all of our extra cards. But fortunately, they kept... I wouldn't say like a bad hand, but definitely not a resilient one. And that's why you want to play a lot of hand attack when you're playing black. Like, this is how mid-range decks like this can beat control decks, is if you just get the hand ripping early, so that way you can keep the initiative. Well, not the mechanic, but... No, he'd probably stab you for that. I mean, like, you're self-aware. But also, you're not wrong. He does have a bit of a derpy face. But I think that's pretty universal for Lizard. 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 I can't believe we're already, like, quarter... We got, like, 15 minutes till top of the hour. And we'll switch over for Final Fantasy yapping. Like, weirdly enough, the best games that we are playing are happening now that we've made the switch to mid-range. And it makes me feel so much better about, you know, wanting to play Madame Hydra. Because what are they always saying in the comics? With Hydra, you cut down one head and two grow back. You kind of get that with the value train, right? Like, you kill one creature, and it just gives me... And I just get value out of it anyway. Killed my creature that already drew me a card or replaces itself on death. You killed a creature that already made extra bodies. If lizards are mercenary coded, what are the frogs? I thought the frogs were like druid coded. right? I thought the frogs had the they were like weather mages and stuff like that. Like, there were frogs that did other things, like there's a frog fisher. Get to go first. We're up against Vanille and Fang. We're up against the girls. Inquisition turn 1. Removal. Fetch for something. Creature. I would love to hit like one more land off this. But we might not get to use the Marsh Flats as like an untapped land. Alright, so we'll lead off on stop their early play. Thoughtseize us. What if no? Good old Thoughtseize your Thoughtseize play. There's no way they don't, like... Not, right? Yeah, okay, so there's the White of the Reliquary. That comes down. They can get it back with... Vanille. So... A3. Do I just shoot the bird at that point? Because then the white doesn't do as much on its own. I think I shoot the bird. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm weak. Maybe I'm blinded by what I seek. You wanted a soldier. Wasn't me. Then... Ah, God. Loki came down just a little too slow. Go ahead and play the Faceless Agent so we can, like, draw an villain. For Adaptoid. And then, with Ares, we actually get to, like, free roll the Faceless Agent now. Inquisition someone's thoughts uses crazy work. This is the remnants of classic Jund mid-range mirror matches back when Modern was a more slow-paced format, shall we say. Back when Tarmogoyfs and Dark Confidence ruled the world. Thoughtseize your Thoughtseize. Every time. Yep, we'll just go ahead. We'll take the 3 there. They probably play Fetch Land, Crack, Surveil. Tarmogoyf. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Yeah. Man, it used to be that was like a $120 card. And just like, nothing. Alright, so we have to, like, be careful right now. They have this Aether Spark that comes into play. +1 attach, put a counter on the white. I think I make it awkward for them. I think I'm going to play Madame Hydra instead. Yep, there's Aether Spark. Deals combat damage, put that many loyalty counters on Aether Spark. Deals combat damage. Am I actually willing to... I might. If I was to double block here, right? If I was to double block... Can't be attacked and has whenever equipped creature combat damage. It still has its loyalty. But, like, they just get to add... They get to go straight up to 9. Meanwhile, I lose 2 creatures. They can play Vanilla and Fane. I would have to play Graveshifter. I'm just gonna take this. Yep, alright. So I can't... Wait, I can't actually... Huh. I don't actually get to do that. Alright, go ahead and attack. Then I should be holding up Trawler to, like, get rid of stuff, I guess. But I really, really, really need to, like, get things going. If I play Loki first, I get a chance to, like, remove the spell and this later. Alright, let's send in the goons! Yep. Like, they just Get it. You get 10 mana. I have my sphincter clenched. Oh, and they just get to play it. Yeah, that's bad. Get to, like, grab. Reaches back again. Death Touch and Light. Okay. It's a 3/2 Death Touch Lifelinker. I'm gonna get Ares. For Adaptoid? Play the Super Adaptoid. I can crash Faceless Agent. I'm just gonna try and like outvalue them. For being honest. No attacks? I could wipe out the Aether Spark. Then they get my Loki or Faceless Agent. It might be worth it just to get rid of the Aether Spark then. Trade with the Madame Hydra. That's actually the best case scenario for me. Yep, and now they can get back their other creature. That's whatever. Yep, they gain a life, they draw a card. They have their engine set up, but if I can get Ares back out, then they don't really get to steal mine anymore. Alright, yep, that's Vanilla Bane. We're in a value off, and they're gonna have significantly less effort put into theirs. Roaming Throne is... Let's go ahead, we'll play out Ares. Go to combat. Just attack with everything? Yeah, just attack with everything. Like, they can keep getting stuff back. They have, like, a bunch of creatures they can get back, so, like, might as well kill the botanist. Like, that botanist is gonna keep getting them, like, draw cards at life, so they're gonna end up overtaking us eventually. Getting punished for not playing my Boggart out. Now, we're in that position where their engine is significantly better than mine. Yep. That's the light half-lane. I'll take the... I'm at 9? We're gonna go ahead and toss in the towel there. Losing to the Aether Spark is frustrating. We just like had no way to crack back, right? We had no way to crack back and keep it from just popping off a burst of mana that let them resolve a 9 mana swing play. But like, still pretty happy with the performance overall, I guess. Wait, no. No, right. Did I play Ares that time? We're up against another Mighty Jane Foster Blink deck. We need to be able to get out ahead and keep them from getting straight value. This hand is not going to do it. Having Loki doesn't mean anything if we don't have any spells. Dark Writ, Vamp Tutor, Spectacle. Okay. So let's keep this 7. We'll lead off on Cliffs here. And then I can Dark Writ. Let's go Spectacle Destruction, Vamp Tutor, and this needs to be something that we can play like immediately. So that way we can start getting stuff off of Spectacle. Honestly, any way that would like go into a lock is okay. All the Arena isn't going to do anything unless we draw into a card. I could play Fixer. Actually, if I play Common Crook, right? If I grab Common Crook, I can Flare of Malice, and then you have to play Madame Hydra. All the week, cut down. Yeah, I needed something that board, and I guess the opponent doesn't particularly care for playing longer games. Okay. What would I have grabbed? Weirdly enough, Call of the Ring is so tempting there. Because Call of the Ring, if we can hit any of the creatures, helps us draw out, reload. But if we do just like grab a 2-drop that grabs us a treasure, pretty good. I don't know. I like using my Vampiric Tutor in that sense. It grabs something up. Player of Malice, Ultron. The opponent gets to go first. We have both of our fast mana cards. Right now, the fastest I could play Ultron is turn 3. Yeah. I've got Malakir here to potentially like combo that with Calling the Weak. Combo with Flare, actually. I'll keep it. Flare gets around Spider-Man having... That's nothing. Okay, and we hit our Alchemy Cavern. I'd like to see that. Now, I could Madame Hydra, Call the Weak there. Alright, we're gonna go for the insect. I need to, like, definitely step on the pedal here. Another mountain is not what I want. Bloodstained Mire, I am willing to grab... Shockland. I can go Dark Writ into Madam. Next turn, I can go call Malakir Rebirth. Call Malakir Rebirth. That's 4/5. That's Ultron. It's a little risky, but let's do it. Then we'll play the Tavern. And if we do this correctly, we'll get some extra goons for our trouble. While all they do is play, like, I don't know, Spider. Alright, they grab a Tri-Land. Play another Signet. That's what we like to see. Playing Parker, that's also fine by me. In fact, that's pretty fantastic. And now, what I get to do... Yes. Go to combat, attack in, that's just free. This is because we're literally going to sacrifice her. I could sacrifice her and then play the Minotaur, but I think playing Ultron is better. Yeah, so let's... Alec... Oh, we don't get to, like, do that with the Ultron. But, you know, c'est la vie. Alright, end the turn. And then use Flare of Malice kill the Cosmic Spider-Man? I might even just like hard play the Flare Mouse on the next turn, actually. Okay, yep. So they have that. They could hit me for like 5, but then I don't lose anything. They might even choose to not attack. At which point, getting to do this is a power move. A power move where we just get the swing out now. And now we can villain hideout. We can grab we can use the Echoing Cavern. If they have like another mana, they can just literally replay Cosmic Spider-Man and then probably in trouble. Guess it's got first strike. That means the Goon don't get to actually deal damage. Cosmic Spider-Man has to block. Roaming Throne. Classic. A staple. Spider Bot searches for a basic land and puts it on top. Searches for a basic land and then puts on top. So they only get to search for like one land. I think that's probably ideal for what they want, right? Yeah, because they're just gonna like cut. Synthoid. I can connive. Yeah, if I connive. Okay, but who are we conniving? Not going to be the Spider Bot, that's for sure. Although if I start putting on Ultron, that's pretty... Yeah, let's put it on Ultron. Discard Carnage next turn. All attack except for the Madame Hydra. And we're just going to keep the pressure around. Yep, that's a free block for them. They'll go up to 11 if they attack with Cosmic Spider-Man. Yep, Cosmic Spider-Man's here. Oh yeah, they're gonna attack with the room. No? Oh yeah, I guess it does give him... No, it doesn't give him Vigilance. Well, I guess that's inevitable. So, I just die in the air, is that it? Yeah, kind of just die in the air. Anything in here that gets me out. Right now I swing out, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carnage doesn't do anything. Spectacle doesn't do anything. Out is to 5. Back on the block. Alright, well, get value off of it. Prevail. Ares God of War. Not what I'm looking for. Not today. Although it is really good with Carnage. Yeah. I mean, they can just transform Parker. Guys, chance to make that mistake though. Might as well just end this one on a loss. Feeling pretty good about the deck. I don't want to fall too far behind on my Final Fantasy duties. If I do that, we don't get a Magic Monday. I mean, like I could try doing. We'll be more likely to get Magic Monday. I actually. Yep. Okay, so they didn't transform Parker. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead. We gotta block Cosmic Spider-Man. Got 2 life. Ooh, we're at 2 life. Can we come back? Alright, Spider-Man India. Whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature gains flying. So if they, like, play multiple creatures... Oh, I don't like that. What did they leave Cosmic Spider-Man in the graveyard for? Exile this card. Your graveyard, put a counter on creature control. Deadly Dispute. They need to be able to keep attacking, right? Yeah. They have at least one... If they have, like, 3 creatures in graveyard, that's a problem for me. That is a really, really huge problem for me. What do I do? I could attack. I have to attack with the aimbot. Kind of regardless. Goons. I can get him for 2 with the goon. The spectacle. Not the deadly. Go ahead, we'll sacrifice them. Okay, okay. Got Electra here. I can just, like, play Electra. And I can also cast the Spectacle. Let's see. Exile this card, put a counter on target creature you control. It gains this card's other abilities, deals combat damage to a player. Alright, go ahead and hit Parker. And... Is it worth attacking if both good? I don't think so. Not just yet. Much as I want to. Like... Spider-Man India casting 2 creature spells. Just like, still GG's. Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. That's just regardless, right? Because Romy Throne copies Spider-Man India. Which I hate, by the way. I hate that he's called Spider-Man India, when in the movie, they refer to him as Desi Spider-Man. Like, Desi is like, you know, a collection of peoples in India. Like, a very specific collection. Not just, you know, India. That's so reductionist. Honestly? Definitely not happier with this, I think. Like, it's crazy to think that part of why I was so frustrated is because I was trying to play against type. But then once we, like, leaned back into doing the mid-range stuff, we started doing okay. Definitely could have kept a hand that had a little bit more interaction. Cosmic Spider-Man is a pretty easy deck to beat as long as you, like, you know, get your spells. Spectral Destruction probably just came a little too late. Using all of my fast mana to try and pump stuff up didn't pay off the way that I'd originally hoped, but yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain. I think this is the direction the deck is going to go going forward. So anytime that we get any new villain cards, I at least have the ability to start thinking about whether it goes into Madame Midrange. And you know what? For a draft uncommon, this could have been so much worse. It was worse. Trying to do the aggro thing did make this so much worse. But now we have a ton of really cool synergies here. I'm still thinking about whether we want to play Moonblast in here because she does benefit. Turns all of the discard into potential draws. I just have to figure out what I would end up cutting for that because I'm not going to cut the actual draw power of the deck. Just kind of a 2/4 flyer for 4 mana that doesn't do a lot if you don't have discard. We can probably benefit off of other effects. We're going to benefit off of like Green Goblin and whatever, effectively. So, you know. Maybe I don't want to build in a lot of the discard as payoff synergy, because I'm really just trying to play this as discard as card flow to help us find our answers. So, pretty happy with the deck. Let's go play some Final Fantasy. I look back at my Bloomburrow cards and I see I have 3 out of the 5 season cards. Season of the Borrow, Season of Weaving, Season of Loss. Don't have our Gather Gold. Do you need all the season cards? I don't remember them being particularly universal, right? I don't. I'm just stating. I mean, like, yeah. Alright. Go ahead and that was a good week. This was a good week of like getting to obsess over a single deck and then, you know, kind of bash our head against the wall until we figured out something that made the deck feel a lot more fun and pleasant to play with. Get Season of the Witch? Would you? Like, hold on. What Season of the Witch even do? Double check that real quick. Go to Scryfall, see Witch. Oh, that is okay. Okay, you know what? I'll tip my hat off to you for that one, Mushroom. That's a pretty good Season of the Witch. 3 mana enchantment from the Dark. Beginning of your upkeep, sack this enchantment unless you pay 2 life. Beginning of the end step, destroy all untapped creatures that didn't attack this turn, except for creatures that couldn't attack. Okay, yep. I agree. You know what? 100% agree. You should get the Season of the Witch. You should get the Obscure from the Dark card that's going to make everyone go, what the fuck is that? Better than going, what the fuck is that? Because, like, you don't recognize the 5th printing of Brainstorm on a University Down bonus. Alright. I should... Honestly, I would get my Wondrous Tales done faster. We're almost there. We're almost done. The Dark rips. The Dark is like... The Dark has a ton of stuff that just... It's so reminiscent of, like, early Magic design. Now, if I remember correctly, the Dark is legal in... Is it no, I don't think it is. I don't think the Dark is legal in... I need to double check. No. The Dark is not. Why was... No, right. Blood Moon's legal because it was in Chronicles. Yeah. Blood Moon, which was first printed in the Dark, is legal because... But, like, you know, you do get people who think that the Dark should be in pre-modern. One of these days, chat. One of these days, I'm going to get back into the groove of playing... playing competitive Magic. But I need to get back into, you know, being able to be competitive in the first place. I think we all saw what happens when I'm trying really hard to make a for fun something work. Then I'm just constantly getting kicked in the shins. Oh god. Don't forget the stretch, by the way. It's only been like an hour since we started stream, but I'm already like shrimping up. I've just been like doing a lot. I can only focus on two hobbies at once. I can do 2 hobbies at once. And right now I am struggling. I am struggling to balance exactly which 2 hobbies I'm working on right now because I'm currently doing Blood Bowl and Dragon Quest XI. I'm doing Dragon Quest XI because I started this year being like, I'm going to continue the work that I started last year by finishing video games that I start. And Dragon Quest is currently going into like its 3rd month of me playing it on like somewhere between 20 to 40 hours a month. But also like I've got almost 80 hours in it. Like that's really good. That's really good for a single game. I very rarely get games like that where I play for, you know, I play like the one game and I know the one game is going to be over when it's done. And then playing it for a long while means that I am actively enjoying it, right? Well, I told you it would probably be more than 2 months. So here's the thing about that, Lucky. It's gonna be more than 2 months because I am really enjoying the game. If I just wanted to play through the main story just to say that I had done it and you know, try it out, it would have been done sooner. It would have been done within the 2-month period, right? Because just doing the main story and blitzing through everything would have been like, what, 40, 60 hours at maybe? Also very happy you're enjoying it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? If I am enjoying a game and I want to spend more time with it, like, yeah, of course it's going to take longer than I'd originally planned. When I made those plans originally, it was off of the information from How Long to Beat. And it was kind of taking, you know, trying to take into account, okay, this is just me doing the main story, none of the extra stuff, none of the extra side quests, none of the forging, none of the crafting, none of the bonus stuff that I do not need to do, strictly speaking. All of that exploring I was doing, right? Like when we first got the ship and we started checking out the world map, when we got the whale, we started checking out all the new areas there. When we took the time to just look at how beautifully Erdwin's lantern is rendered at the start of Act 2. All of that adds extra time that is probably not going to be part of the, you know, just trying to get through the game as quickly as possible experience. And that was a miscalculation on my part. In my favor, because I am, you know, because I have, look, I have a game that my friend gifted me and I'm having a blast with and I can talk to him about. And we can share fan art and stuff like that and talk about our reactions to cutscenes. Like, that's a very beautiful and magical thing. That is something that is worth not rushing through. And also, yeah, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than 2 months, especially when I am actively working on other stuff at the same time, because painting minis, that takes time. Watching Blood Bowl videos, going out on Wednesdays to play Blood Bowl at local, that's also a video game night that gets used for other stuff now. Also need to get a German 5th edition demonic tuner because it's got a quote from Faust on it and that rips. Yo, that fucking does. That fucking does. My wife loves foreign cards. She loves getting foreign language. And she's also a bit of a gremlin. He has a Goblins Pre-Modern deck where every single card is a unique promo card art. So, like, even though she plays 4 Goblin Lackeys, each Goblin Lackey is different. And I have to recognize, based on the conversation from yesterday, that it might sound a little hypocritical to say, oh, but you know, this deck full of like foils and promos and stuff that are kind of expensive, you know, that's okay because it's my wife. But at the same time, you know, I at least have the context of, yeah, but this is also like her baby, her pet project. This is, you know, her celebration of having goblins from across the ages come together in a single deck. Dragon Quest XI is also my favorite Dragon Quest game so far. That's a very limited experience. Honestly, it's weird for me to say that it's my favorite Dragon Quest game. I've played Starry Sentinels, which is Dragon Quest IX, and I've also played Dragon Quest III, but I never finished either of them. I never got past that initial hurdle of, okay, things are tapering off, let's go do something else now. Not even necessarily because I'm bored, but because like I no longer get that high from constant discovery. And that's a very common reoccurring thing with, you know, picking up a game and then dropping it. Picking up a new game and then dropping it part way. Once it stops being new, novel, and exciting, it feels like things fall into a lull for me. But once I can get past that lull, then things get exciting again. Because then, like, I'm past the midpoint slog, and I'm getting to check out the end game fun and treats that got sprinkled throughout the game. So, like in Hollow Knight, that was all the challenge fights, the remix fights, bosses that you have already fought before. It was also getting to fight the Radiant. And now that I'm playing Dragon Quest XI, now that we're in Act 3, I'm getting that all over again. Partly because, you know, I'm no longer over leveled. The game has actually caught up to me, and I am getting slaughtered by some of these optional bosses. I went and found a boss called a Crystal Lottle, and that thing, it killed me. It killed me dead. So I'm going to advance the story a little bit so I can get to a spot where I can get some gear that'll help me out. And hopefully that evens the odds of it. Also, I misremembered. It's German revised for that fast quote. Not trying to show when I say this, but being bad at finishing video games is why I stream. So bad at actually doing that on my own, but social pressures as I must. I mean... okay, so like... you know what? That's fine. That's fine. You can have shilling privileges for handing out mush. That's perfectly fine by me. But also, that you're so real for that, right? You're so real for that. And that's part of why, when I've been trying to play these games that I really want to finish, I have been looking explicitly for titles that maybe don't come recommended, but I know other people that I know have enjoyed. When I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I was talking to Kuria a lot about it. I was sharing with her a lot of the moments that I was going through. I'm going through Dragon Quest XI, and obviously I'm sharing that with Lucky and Iwind in my server. Iwind is another... Iwind's a guy that I've known for like a long while, and he's a lot more of a classic RPG. But also, like, you know, if Jess ever actually manages to pick up Dragon Quest again, like, it'll be nice to know what he's going through and to be able to talk and coach him through some of that stuff. But, you know, that's kind of dependent on if Jess actually can get himself to do that. When I was playing Slay the Princess, oh my god. I was talking to my friends, and she was having, like, just an absolute delight of a time watching my reactions and my theory crafting throughout that entire thing. I would take screenshots of all the different princesses, and I would send them to her, and that was also great. Playing Hollow Knight was specifically so I could spend time playing something that I know means a lot to my wife. It gave us something. It gave us something to do whenever she was having one of those really bad energy days that, you know, they will just randomly caps you with. And that was really nice. It provided a lot of comfort and reassurance for her. Now, it did come with a couple of stumbling blocks because I was still figuring some stuff out. But that is a magical time that I don't think I'd give up for anything. I didn't even, like, 100% Hollow Knight or anything like that. I went through, I did all the stuff I wanted. Like, I went through, I collected all the charms, and my wife helped me find all the power-ups and stuff like that. I did a couple of the boss remixes. I beat the Radiant, and I called it there. And I entertained the idea of potentially, like, you know, going back to my file and continue playing it if I ever want. If I want to play Silksong and I want to like warm up first, maybe I'll play some Hollow Knight, or maybe I'll just go play Silksong. Maybe I'll just go play Silksong, and that'll be another 2 or 3 months of fun. I've been in the Xeno Masteries mines for the past 15 months. I think I remember that. I think I remember you being in the Xenoblade mines for a while. That's another game series that now that I've finished the Blade Chronicles 2, I'm kind of excited to try out the other entries in the series. But oh my god, chat, RPGs are so long. Like, I know I'm not breaking new ground when I say that, but also, like, I do sincerely love playing RPGs. And if I'm going to spend like 3 or 4 months playing every single long-form RPG that I want to play, you know, I'm not going to actually get around to playing some of the other games that I want to play. I need to break things up and play some of the smaller games. So when I do finish playing Dragon Quest XI, I've got some promises to wrap up. You know, schedule will kind of be damned. Did Xenosaga and still doing Xenoblade. I've got left is X left until the new one comes out. New one coming out is... There's a new one coming out? I thought they were... I know that there are remasters coming out for the Switch too. Like, definitive edition type games. Coming out next year? Oh, right. That's the one that looks like Revolutionary Girl Utena. That's right, that's right. Yeah, when I finish Dragon Quest XI, I'll go with something else for a change of pace. Definitely have a backlog. Honestly, I'm glad that I get to finish this. Lucky. Like, for real, for real. You always talk about how much you like this game, but haven't had a chance to finish it. I am really happy that I get to be a part of you actually finishing the game. Once and for all. Like, if nothing else, right? If nothing else, if you start getting tired, if you start getting exhausted, and you just want to, like, wrap things up, like, just make a beeline for the boss. Make a beeline for the boss. Figure out what you need to do in order to, you know, beat it. Like, you know, maybe go in blind for the first time, then look up guides if you start struggling. But I want to help you get through this and, you know, get this monkey off your back. Literally bought a Switch 2 the day after the announcement. I'm going to be honest. The Switch 2 didn't look like it had a lot on launch, and that's pretty bog standard for console launches, I think. Very rarely do you get like a Breath of the Wild situation where you launch a new console and also you get to launch it with a hit game. I know some people liked Mario Kart World, but you know, I didn't care personally. So I had no issue not getting a Switch 2 on launch. And like the Switch being more expensive now because like, you know, the fucking data centers are eating all of the tech is sucks a lot. But with those remasters and stuff coming out, with all the extra titles now being available for this too, now it's looking like my family's gonna actually save up for one for the holidays. You know what? I should help out. Still has no games, but Xenoblade and their peak, and I'm in too deep. I mean, that's real. That's real. Alright, there we go. I got at least one kill. Do you want one? Do you want to get one? Troll Facebook Marketplace. Use this as an issue for you. Are they selling, like, used Switch 2s already? Like, the thing just came out last year, didn't it? I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there are going to be people with, you know, that got the Switch 2 and now they're tired of it, or now it's like, you know, the economy's hit them or whatever. People sell everything on there? I mean, I know they do, but it's like, how often are you going to find one for a reasonable price, and like, how many people are you going to have to fight in order to actually pick it up? Because we had a heck of a time just getting our hard drives for the server. Even though my, you know, technically, actually my wife took care of it. But, you know, still. Clicked on it and could go buy a helicopter right now. I mean, like, do you have the funds to go buy a helicopter right now? if you do, it's like, you know, why though? Don't you need a license to pilot those? Yeah, but that's not the issue. I mean, wasn't an issue in the first place? Well, I was probably going to get a Switch 2 eventually, but I'll try to get one a little sooner since yet another version of DQ11 looming to add to the collection. Lucky, I was under the impression that you would get these games regardless of whether you actually had one or not. The only exception being the JP, what was it, the JP Switch version? Because it was only released in Japan? Something like that? No, not the Switch version, but it was something like that. Yep. Bamboozled there. Always give your commendation. Bulk lots of games can be killer deals if you want the collection to go up too. I mean, I'm not really worried about like game collection, right? Like some games I do want physical versions of. I wanted a physical copy of Xenoblade 2 Chronicles 2. But also like as long as I have the game in a manner that cannot be taken away from me, I am fine. I don't necessarily need physical versions. I like having physical versions when possible, but also like I am just not in a position to, you know, spend a lot of money even when it's a deal, right? Even when it's a deal. When the television is like, you know, when the 600 television is down to $200, you're not saving $400, you're spending $200 still. And $200 is a lot of dollars. Like that's at least like 2 years worth of Twitch payouts for me. One's selling a Subway. Like the actual trays and stuff. The actual like thing that you go down that holds all the stuff for making the sandwich. It was the 3DS version of Dragon Quest XI. The whole thing? I need to switch to... Also, I need to double check. What am I... Oh, shit. Go turn in our... Real quick before load our inventory. Although I guess, like, that's not technically possible. Have an armor chest that's gonna get stuff, and that also clean inventory easy. Imagine buying a whole Subway sandwich station. What would you even use that for? Like the obvious answer would be for Subway sandwiches, but like, are you really making sandwiches for other people that often? Also, like, well, how much space do you have to have in your house in order to make something like that work? Even like a big kitchen, I imagine that just turns into like a new wall. Like, no, I'm aware that you can buy a ton of stuff off Facebook Marketplace. But you gotta have money to spend before you can spend money on Facebook Marketplace. Not everyone's willing to trade a hard drive for a handy. How fun it was to scroll Facebook Marketplace. It is kind of fun just like looking at what you could get, right? There is a certain novelty to just like window shopping. Like you scroll through eBay just to see like what the deals are. You have no intention of actually buying anything, but it's crazy to be like, you know, if I had the means, I could live the dream. Like that Weird Al song, eBay. I'll buy your watch, please. I'll buy. I'm highest bidder. Junk keeps arriving in the mail from that worldwide garage sale. Hey, a Dukes of Hazzard ashtray. Oh yeah, I bought it on eBay. Wanna buy a Pez dispenser lunchbox. Something, something, and a toaster. I forgot most of the words, but this was a song that I loved in high school. Know what I'm talking about? Oh wait, did I burn? I did. I burned my Viper. I'm telling you, chat. Parody songs are the future. Chances of me actually putting out like a cover song are slim. But if I was gonna do it, 10,000%, 10,000%, it would be a parody of something rather than like actual song, an original song or a song cover. No. You know, I was supposed to play both Vampire the Masquerade and Fallout New Vegas this year. That's not gonna happen. That's just straight up not happening this year. And I wanted to play like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and Final Fantasy 13 as well. Bad luck that's gonna be. I might get to play like a Final Fantasy a year. I might get to play a Final Fantasy and a Kingdom Hearts and a Legend of Zelda and like some other stuff. I'm gonna have to like be a little bit more judicious with my planning. I think I need to start taking at the extras on how long to beat rather than just like the main course. New shortest sad story just dropped. Engagement ring $200. Ow. Almost as sad as new baby clothes never used. Yeah. Chat, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever found at a garage sale or something like that? Like, yeah, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, but like also, you know, you can find some really cool stuff at the garage sale. Half bottles of like cosmetics. Honestly, I understand that one, right? Like sometimes they just get way too thick and you can't actually find the polish thinner. I've got nail polish that I really want to use again, but I need to thin it out and can't for the life of me find nail polish. Nail polish remover that I can actually like dip in to thin it out just a little. And like, doesn't foundation dry out after a long enough timeline? I can't imagine that they would do that after like a year or so, but foundation like almost half a decade at this point. I haven't actually like had a reason to guzzy up and dress up what I want. I want a reason. You know what they say? Makeup doesn't make you beautiful. It just highlights the things that were already beautiful. And it's fun too, actually, if I'm being honest. Nothing like hitting up the club, putting on some nice red lipstick, get those wingtips going. Just found a triple barrel slushy machine for 1,600? Yo! Okay, so like, slushy machine already goated. How? If it's a slushy machine, I imagine you'd have to keep it cold, right? It has to be cold for the ice. How often do you have to have slushies to like justify that? Like, it sounds like one of those sick bachelor pad type purchases where, you know, get the comedy about the guy who's like, oh, you know, we're gonna go from being a bachelor to being married. We gotta get rid of all our fun stuff, which means we have to get rid of the slushie machine. And then you find out, no, actually, she's into slushies too. In fact, she's even more into slushies than you are. No, hold on to it. Keep it. Oh, it's like one's at the grocery store. So what I'm hearing is that it would fit on a counter. Wait, don't they sell, like, home version slushie machines anyway? I feel like if you really wanted to get a slushie machine at that point, you could just get one of the home style version. Home ones suck. Isn't that just like how it always goes? Like it feels like a no-brainer, right? Like it feels like you should be able to get an at-home one, and then it works great, and then you try it out, and it's just like it's never as good as what you want it to be. At least that's not the case with deep. Like you can, like, deep frying is at least straightforward enough that you can, you know, don't even need to get like a specialized thing for it. Actually, you know what else sucks? Those stupid brownie trays. Those stupid brownie trays from the as seen on TV ads. That thing made me so mad. I got it because I was like, oh man, this is great. Segmented brownies, where every piece has, like, you know, the texture of being, you know, it's got the edge pieces, and it's got the soft inside pieces. Looks all nice and segmented, and then it turns out it had like that stupid little false bottom tray where you're supposed to put on like a cooling rack, and you just drop it a little bit, and everything comes out all eh. That thing was a pain in the ass to wash. Hated it. Okay. Did our... We just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Out the rest of our inventory. And we can do the trials pretty. Got the Bane. Remember, ideally, we get the Wondrous Tales done before we start doing Stormblood content. If only, because then I can continue doing Wondrous Tales on my own rather than them. You know, as much as I want to, like, continue listening to music, there is something, like, relaxing and vibe-based about just using the standard music of Final Fantasy XIV. Found a set of those Garfield mugs that give you lead poisoning. What? What? What are you talking about? Actually, hold on. Get away with... I can. Garfield mugs that give you lead poisoning? Garfield, and I think of goth girlfriend Garfield. The one that wishes... They're glass mugs that have Garfield printed on them. But part of the printing process includes lead, and the paint can flake off easily. What the fuck? What the fuck? This doesn't sound very kosher. Okay. Real quick pause cuts. Did you ever get those Pokemon jelly jars? We had those, and those are the same. Are they? Are they? Holy shit. Because I know exactly what you're talking about, too. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is, Huh. I'm glad those things never completely stuck around then. But also... Well, maybe not something that should be sold on Facebook Marketplace. Although I guess they are collectible. Like, it's only really a problem if you keep it on your person all times in an attempt to ambush and assassinate Superman, because you're paranoid that Superman's gonna find you and then like come kick your ass. They're collectible, but don't use them. Yeah, obviously. Obviously don't use them. Although... I'm trying to think. I had something. I had something here. I had a thing, and then my brain just, like, completely F4'd. Damn. Oh, well. Okay, so we're just gonna go and... Why am I getting... Oh, I got fucking rocked. That's what happened. That's what happened. Snake? There's two snakes. Someone's selling 25 copies of Seething Song for 200. Which version of Seething Song? Seething Songs are common. From like, what, Scourge? It's been reprinted a ton since then? Shot. No shot. Looks like Mirrodin. It might have been Mirrodin, now that I think about it. But even then, it's a $15 Why is it a $15 common? That card... I used to buy that card for pennies. What happened? Man, I tell you. Never sell your Magic collection. Just like never do it. It's just never worth it. Because as soon as you do, like, you'd never get the card back. This is why I can never sell my Kalia deck. But I knew that I was never, ever going to get my duel. Ah, this is... And 2017 fucked us up. 2017 fucked up the world. Why did the world fall apart as soon as 2017 hit? I mean, like, I know why. Don't actually answer that question. But like, 2017 was just not kind. Hard. Ah, yes. Many genders of cat girl. Cat girl with bright neon pink. Cat girl in armor with eye patch. And cat girl that's actually a lizard. I'm trying to think. It's not like the Ruby Storm decks have gotten popular. At least not that I know of. The decks that are running Fantastic are running them in Doomsday. I don't remember anything in Pauper that's like that. Fantastic Car is only legal in... Which, by the way, if anyone doubts that the Fantastic Car is going to, like, make a massive impact on Legacy, and already is, then like just wait for an internal weekend. That's typically when people stop playing their for fun pet like decks and start playing, for real. I actually want to win the big tournament Legacy decks. Catch him! Catch him! And do 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 do. All right, got like. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, chat. We've got 1, 2, and then 3. You can also get one here, and that would also like complete this one down here. We have it. We have it. You ready for this? See if we get the line. Up, up, up. That's a one-liner. We got one more. One more. We can get this here. That's 2 lines. Can't get across this way. Can't get across this way. Get it here. Like either here or here. Then none of those work. So it's a 2 out of 1, 3, 5, 6. Ah! Nah. All right. Go turn our Wanderer's Tail. Also double check our PvP is pretty full. Let's do that before I forget. Go to the Wolves Den, cash out. We'll get some ventures off of our PvP currency. And then a commercial stand mixer? Holy shit. Man, I wish I had the room for like shit like that. If I had the room for like just big stuff. Oh, the stuff that I could get. And I had a commercial stand mix. I don't think I would use it. I don't bake all that often. But like, imagine the possibilities. Oh, actually, you know what I do want? I want something that's specifically for baking pizza. Like, I know I can do it in the oven. I do it in the oven all the time. But like, if I had a pizza oven, like a dedicated pizza oven and the space to wield it, my pizzas would just like take the next step forward. Mean Machine 5. 5 point. A couple of get Machinist finished. Then I can even like, I can just like, we did it, chat. We did it. Taking the day off yesterday from Final Fantasy 14 that's just like hyper focus on magic. Ended up working out either way. Honestly, I should have been doing Final Fantasy 14 anyway, and then Thursday we could have done it like guilt free. Could have played the better version of the deck, but real quick. Reminder that tomorrow is Final Fantasy Friday. We are going to be back. We are going to be streaming Final Fantasy VIII. And we are going to be getting closer to joining Ultimate. And then once we have done so, we can officially call it good on Final Fantasy and return to Final Fantasy 14 and also our friend Nyx. So I'm looking forward to that. See, I need to drop some. So many grow tents. You can grow tents? Oh, real quick, chat. Since we are getting close to the end of the stream, I do want to let everyone know that love to pass on the love. You know anyone who is currently live who likes magic? Maybe they play Final Fantasy 14. Maybe they're queer, autistic, trans, suffering. if they're like me, if they fit the vibes of the stream, go ahead and hit lead the raid. We'll be sure to pass on the love. Always looking for new people to follow. And I'm left to my own devices. For pot. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Growing tents for, you know, marijuana. Gotta go Facebook Marketplace. This is dangerous. That's what I'm saying. You can visit the marketplace, but you don't want to stay there. You don't want to stay there. All right. So, see, we are doing Final Fantasy Friday tomorrow. This is going to be the start of the reminder that next Wednesday, I'm going to be off for therapy. So there will be no stream on the Wednesday. But do not despair. Other than that, I think we're pretty good on scheduling wise, right? Right. So if you're on the YouTube side, this is where we're going to go ahead and end it. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the stream if you haven't already. And, like, you know, leave a comment on the stream. What is the weirdest thing that you have found? Either at an online marketplace on Facebook or in a garage sale. Kind of curious to hear what people have seen now. We'll go ahead and put it there. Oop. Then over on the Twitch side, we are going to go ahead and get ready for rating. Currently live.